Good evening. I'm Dr. Theresa Deisher, president of Sound Choice Pharmaceutical Institute, and I want to welcome you all and thank you for joining us this evening. We have one panelist for you this evening. We have Bobby Kennedy Jr. We have Del Bigtree of the Highwire, Pastor Aaron Lewis, Dr. James Neuenschwander, and Father Michael Copenhagen. And I believe there is also still time to purchase raffle tickets. Is that correct? That is correct. And you could win a 15-minute conversation with Bobby Kennedy Jr. or Del Bigtree. How cool would that be?
Or you.
Or me.
Or you.
Yeah, but I'm not a good conversationalist. So I hope you get Bobby or Del instead of me. So the mission of Sound Choice is to end human exploitation in biomedical research. And human exploitation includes using the bodies of aborted babies for scientific research or to make cell lines so that we can manufacture vaccines or drugs. It includes targeting refugees and poor villages for organ donations or egg donations for research. It includes ignoring the weak or the vulnerable, the elderly or children when we're developing drugs and medical treatments. And it also can include forcing medicines on people that harm certain populations of people. It can include trying to force other people to do things so that you yourself or one does not have to take responsibility for their own health and their own life and their own circumstances. And so our mission is to shed the light, share the truth, let people know about how other human beings are exploited in biomedical research. Our mission is to do the research that can demonstrate the actual health harm that occurs when we exploit other human beings in the guise of advancing health and medicine, as well as developing alternatives. So SCPI, Sound Choice, with hundreds of other organizations speaking with us, sharing the truth, we have made a huge difference, even though we have not wiped out human exploitation. GlaxoSmithKline made the decision about 2.5 years ago not to use human fetal cell lines to manufacture any new vaccines or new drugs. And Sanofi in 2020 switched the manufacturing of their polio vaccine and all the polios that are in, any of their vaccines, because there are some vaccines that have polio in them and other components. So that polio was switched and it's no longer manufactured in human fetal cell lines. Adult stem cells are the stem cells being used to treat human disease, not embryonic. And SCPI played a huge role in that because I, Theresa Deisher, was one of the plaintiffs who sued to block the administration from using federal funds to fund embryonic or aborted fetal stem cell research. So we chose the name Sound Choice because we know that people have to be given better, sounder choices, not just told no. And so not only do we share the truth and shine the light, we take legal action when needed. We do the research in our laboratories to demonstrate the health consequences of using human fetal cell lines to manufacture vaccines. And we also work to provide better alternatives, predominantly through our sister company, AVM Biotechnology. And AVM's lead drug is about to enter formal FDA-approved clinical trials to treat terminal no-option lymphoma patients and severely ill COVID-19 or influenza patients. For those who cannot take part in our clinical trials or who suffer from a cancer other than lymphoma, we have a very active compassionate use program that you can learn about on our website, www.avm biotech.com. And people with, terminal no option cancer or severely ill COVID or influenza patients can get access to our drug through an FDA-approved compassionate use program. So sound choice is not anti-vaccine. We are for safe and effective vaccines and drugs that do not exploit other human beings. We are for medical freedom. We are for informed consent before any drug is administered to anyone. And we are for the right of people to consider the data and facts which are out there for anyone who truly cares to know the truth, whether they have an MD or PhD or no degree at all. We are for parents making health decisions for their children with guidance from their health caregivers. And we are for people's right to decide to make their immune systems healthy without vaccinating. SDPI relies on your generosity and the generosity of AVM Biotechnology, which is a pre-revenue company, to exist. And I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for your support over the years. Since we are in the midst of a pandemic, I want to share some truths about the SARS-CoV-2 coronavirus that causes COVID-19 disease. So first, there has never been a vaccine made against a coronavirus. So I do not know that a vaccine will ever be available against this virus. I do know how viruses behave in order to survive. And viruses that come in waves, like this one is, tend to mutate so that they become less harmful in every wave. And typically, after 3 to 5 waves, the virus has become essentially relatively harmless. And we are actually now on the 3rd wave of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. And I don't have slides tonight, so I'm going to hold up. I printed out some data I want to show you. And you can find this on the web. It's the Worldometer for the coronavirus. And I'm just going to hold it up. You guys can check it later. The top is the number of cases, daily cases in the United States. And you can see 1 wave, 2 wave, now we're on the 3rd wave. And the bottom is daily new deaths. And what you can see is that even though the number of cases is much higher, the number of people dying is much lower. So not only have we learned how to medically manage this disease, which is a totally different disease than the SARS of 2002 and 2003, but the virus looks like it's mutating and becoming less harmful. And I want to show you some data on the Netherlands, because the Netherlands is now in another wave. Their first wave, they had very few cases. They shut down almost immediately. And then they opened back up pretty much completely. And now they're having a really big wave. You can see there's much more cases. And people are trying to use this to argue against opening up. But what I want you to pay attention to is the number of people who are dying. A lot more people died during the first wave when they had very few cases. People are not dying anymore. So clearly the virus is mutating as expected. So I want to talk about how you can stay healthy. And the first thing I want to say to you, and you're going to hear more about this from Dr. Neuenschwander, but I just want to share some of my real simple insight. First of all, be not afraid. Fear elevates your body's cortisol levels, and cortisol kills immune cells. Be not afraid. Take your vitamins, vitamins A, C, D, and E for a healthy immune system. Take zinc and quercetin, or eat grapefruit, or drink tonic water where you'll get a sort of natural hydroxychloroquine. Eat healthfully, get sleep, and be not afraid, and stay healthy. And then your chances of becoming infected or getting seriously ill, if you do get the infection, will be reduced. You know, for people who are immune compromised and can't necessarily make their immune systems as healthy as the rest of us, I hope that you'll stay safe and stay home if that makes you feel most safe and most comfortable. So, you know, the bottom line I would just say is, after tonight's event, I feel that you are all going to feel empowered to be healthy, to stand up for medical freedom, to stand up for religious freedom. Even if you don't have religion, stand up for the religious freedom of others. Even if you don't need medical freedom, stand up for the medical freedom rights of others who are around you. And I want to issue a special thank you to Gina Dalpez, our Director of Marketing and Communications, who organized this wonderful event, and Bernadette Pajer of Informed Choice Washington, who is also our MC and moderator. And all the panelists said they're going to behave really well tonight. It will not be like a debate. So she won't get to do too much. I want to give a special thank you to Andrew Aldwell, our IT director, who did all the IT and the logistics, and to all of our panelists who are joining us. I think it's going to be a wonderful evening. And to all of you, I want to thank you for joining us tonight, and I want to thank you for your support for Sound Choice Pharmaceutical Institute over the years.
And with that, yes, and
Turn it to Bernadette.
Thank you, Dr. Deisher, and thank you for all the contributions you have made, you know, in your lifetime to scientific integrity. And you've been through a lot in your life, and you've taken all your experiences and tried to make the world a better place through all your actions. And I'm just proud to know you. So thank you. I'm happy to
Right
be
back
here.
at you.
So I'm Bernadette Pajer. I am Public Policy Director for the nonprofit Informed Choice Washington. And just like Dr. Deisher and Sound Choice Pharmaceutical Institute, Informed Choice Washington supports science with integrity. We believe that products and policies designed to help mankind must not claim victims in either the research or manufacturing phases or the implementation administration phase. We believe that the dangers of any disease do not justify the dangers of products or policies that target those diseases. We must be vigilant in our efforts to protect all life as we reduce the spread of infection and the incidence of other diseases such as cancer. The greater good cannot be served by sacrificing the few, as happens with blanket policies that don't proactively protect the few who are subject to harm from those policies. And also, the few cannot be served by sacrificing the many, as we are seeing with these lockdowns that are causing tremendous harms to so many people.
Absolutely.
And, you know, we've got leagues of scientists and doctors out there now saying that the harm of the response to COVID is exceeding the dangers of COVID itself. Every life is precious, and we as a society are capable of creating humane public health policies. I truly believe we could do much better than we're doing now, and that we can create policies that protect populations as a whole while protecting individuals. We don't need to sacrifice one for the other. The main goal of Informed Choice Washington is to advocate and educate for scientific integrity in public health policy, and to protect and even reclaim medical freedom and truly informed consent. The term informed consent is often used incorrectly. Informed consent is not something doctors give you. Informed consent is something an individual gives only after they've been given enough information to make an informed decision, and they can make an informed decline. They can say no. And when it comes to unethical policies, Informed Choice Washington advocates people choose informed dissent and, make it known why you are not doing whatever it is you're being asked to do. Right now, with medical freedom being threatened and censorship rampant, it's time for us all to take a stand to protect our right to make our own medical decisions. Informed Choice Washington educates through our website. We have hundreds of pages and posts, all of it hyperlinked to science, and we have a wonderful immunologist who reviews our work to make sure it is accurate. We work with medical doctors and natural doctors to give you as much accurate information as we can. We hold conferences, we speak with legislators, we attend Board of Health meetings, Vaccine Advisory Committee meetings, we give public comment. We do all we can to try to spread education. We also now have a radio show, which is very exciting, where we interview doctors and health experts. So far, we are uncensored, live on air. Started off with Andrew Wakefield, so we just, right out of the gate, we were just gonna go for it and just, talk truth. So, and Informed Life Radio airs every Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific time on 1150 AM KKNW. In Seattle, if you go to informedchoicewa.org, you can get more information, find out how to watch or listen because it's streamed online as well. Several Informed Choice Washington members also got together and created a grassroots website. It's called healthyimmunitynow.org. And at this website, we have put up all of the existing effective treatment protocols out there for COVID-19. The way regulations are with the FTC and the FDA, MDs and NDs can't go out there and really in an open way share their effective treatment protocols without getting in trouble. If it's not FDA approved, they can't claim or even insinuate you might want to try this, right? So we put this website together in an attempt to give you individuals the knowledge of what's available. And we also put links to how to find practitioners so that you could go find a knowledgeable practitioner. So if you do get sick, you can go have somebody guide you through the healing process. And effective treatment protocols exist, more are coming, and we're very excited about the potential for ABM0703 to potentially be added for very severe cases to help them recover.
Right, for the severely ill.
Yeah, for the severely ill, available for compassionate use. We're excited about that. Informed Choice Washington is proud to belong to what feels like an extended family. The great scientists of Sound Choice and ABM Biotech with their high ethical standards, we so admire that. And then there's the legal and educational teams of both Children's Health Defense and the Informed Consent Action Network, which is part of the Highwire guys. We're going to be hearing from them tonight, as well as hundreds of other dedicated, passionate groups that are striving for ethical science, medical freedom, and informed consent. Through this COVID chaos, Informed Choice Washington has worked to bring important health information to the public, including what we are celebrating here tonight, hope and health. Because truly, just as Dr. Deisher said, there is no reason to fear. Treatments exist, more are coming, and there's a growing army of health freedom advocates around the world rising up, speaking up, and yes, even shaking things up. So we believe we're going to emerge from all of this stronger and healthier in body and spirit. And we're so pleased that all of you are joining us here tonight and supporting what we're doing and celebrating health and hope. So as